Hello, my name is Paul Alves, and what I'm going to do today is show you and demonstrate an idea that I came up with to help utilize the router. Basically what this is a router attachment to help stabilize when doing some woodworking techniques. In this particular case, I'm going to be using this Porter-Cable 3¼ horse router. As you can see, the router is fairly large and can be somewhat heavy. And my profession is a stair builder. What I'm going to do today is show you to incorporate this profile for this rail that I'm using. Generally, the stock starts off as a rectangular block, and from there, on a handheld router, if we're using a mobile handheld router, we have a router bit attached, and as the router bit spins, obviously it cuts away the material. The router bit itself has the female portion of the profile. The bearing rides along the stock here and cuts away. What I've found in the past is when you're handling this router and you've got it on your stock and you're routing your material, if not held carefully, it tends to tilt. And once it tilts, then material gets ruined, you have to start over again. What my idea does, it actually stabilizes the router. And basically here, it's a teardrop design which attaches to this particular router. This design could actually be made to attach to any design of router. I just chose the router, the Porter-Cable router, which I use frequently. And what we've done here is, with different bits, I have an insert here that I can fasten to the plate here. Different size bits will require a different size opening. So I have different inserts from smaller here to larger. The way this is designed, what you do is you take your stock that's to be worked on and you measure the height. In this particular case, it's 2 3/4 tall. Basically what you do here is, there's a thumb screw here, you loosen the thumb screw, and I have a registered, and the reading here is from the bottom of the base here to the bottom of the bearing. Once that's established, you loosen this up, as I said, you turn this bottom screw and you set it at the height. In this particular case, it's 2 3/4. Once that's established, you tighten it, and there it is there. And what will happen is, this will actually sit right on the stock. The router comes through with this factory base. This base is removed. Once that's removed, it's quite simple to just take this here and place it right on the router. 4 screws. In this particular case, the bit that I'm using to profile the rail has about 1.5 inch radius. I have different inserts. I choose the one that fits it as close as possible. Basically put it in place. There it is there. Now we're set here. The distance from the bottom of the plate to the bottom of the bearing here is at the same height as the stock being milled. Okay. It's as simple as that. As you can see, it runs parallel to the stock, and very easily, the only thing that's required from you is to keep the router on its plate and with a little bit of tension towards the rail, so the bearing follows the rail and cuts your profile. There was no tilting, nothing like that. And like again, the bearing can move in any direction, whether it's curved, straight, whatever it may be. So now we have both sides profiled. And now what we're going to do is turn the rail over. And this is where this product really comes in handy. Because at the bottom of the rail, I still have plenty of flat surface for this to ride on. So tilting it, it can happen, but it's rare. However, when we do the top, that's where it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Now I'll explain. I'm going to securely fasten this down. Now that we've done the bottom of the rail, now we're going to do the top of the rail. The top of the rail actually has a different cutter. I have this cutter here. As you can see, this cutter is a little bit wider. So what I have to do now is I'm going to take this and transfer it onto this plate here. Again, quite simple, just remove the screws, bring it over, and what we'll have to do is we're going to have to use a different insert. However, this router bit is at its max. So in this particular case, we're not going to use any insert. We're going to use the largest opening that's available. So we'll just remove the insert and leave it out. Okay, now we're ready once again. Again, this first pass, as you can see, I have quite a bit of surface to ride the base on. So the first pass won't be so bad. It's the second pass that we're only going to have half of the material exposed. Again, this is where the router will have a chance to tilt. And with this, it'll eliminate that. Okay, so now I'm going to remove it and go from the other side. Again, as you can see now, we've lost half of the surface. And this is where this tool quite actually comes in handy, because now that we're on, even though we're still stable on it, because we're taking away material at the top, it has a tendency to want to tilt. You can see it's fairly simple, effortless. Through here. So now when you have quite a bit of material, you don't want it to get in the way of the bearing. It's as easy as just sweep it off. Just place the router. It actually stands on its own. Just make sure that the bit is free from the stock when starting. The bearing that I've used here is actually a little bit larger, so I can take it in 2 passes. As you can see, there's a flat spot, which that's not what I want here. So what I'm going to do now is I plug the router. I'm actually going to remove this bearing and put on a smaller bearing. So this way, if I was to try to take this amount of material all at once, it's a good chance that the material is going to chip out and be damaged. So I like to do it in 2 passes. By doing it in 2 passes, it really makes this tool efficient, because now I have to go back on here and there's absolutely nothing to stabilize myself. If I didn't have this attachment, putting the router on here, it would really tilt on me. So, have the router unplugged. And this is just the method that I choose to use, not taking the material all out at once. Place the bearing. As you can see, this is a smaller bearing. In my experience, trying to take too much material off at once, it's damaged. And again, this is actually where I came up with this idea, because to actually put the router on here, I have absolutely no stability at all. In the past, I would just try to hold it as horizontal as possible to the bench, and hopefully I didn't damage the material, but every so often, again, as you can see, if I didn't have the stabilizer here, it would be very difficult, because basically I would just be riding on this very top edge. And to ride that there, it'd be very, very difficult. So I'm going to demonstrate now really how easy this is using the smaller bearing, because it will take a little bit more material out. So, just make sure that the bit is far enough away from the stock when starting. You can see I was only taking a little minor off, but with this method, very minimal sanding. When this rail is done, very minimal sanding. I'm going to switch it over. Again, making sure that it's secure to the bench. Make sure that your area is clean where the bearing's going to ride. Once again, I'm basically going to be running on this tip here. It. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to take this attachment off, put the router on the rail, and just show you just how unstable it can be. That it is actually. What I'm going to demonstrate here, you've just seen me utilizing the router stabilizer and how well it works to stabilize the router. Again, just keep in mind it is a fairly large router, but this is the size and the power that I need to incorporate in what I'm doing here. So that's it's something that needs to be utilized. Without the stabilizer, you can see it's a fairly wide bit, and now that it's run, you can see again that basically we only have maybe an eighth of an inch of flat to work on, if that at all. As you can see that the profile here comes to a taper. When I would actually put the router here without the stabilizer, I'm basically just relying on this section here, and really simple to stabilize, and just by running this here. With a stabilizer, it eliminates any of this difficulty. It makes it very easy to run. And as you saw, the bearing helps to follow any direction, whether it's curved or just an erratic shape that might be utilized. And again, This not only pertains to railings. This is my profession, this is what I use on, but I've used it on casings, architectural woodwork, whatever it may be. Boat builders can use this. Anybody with imagination, this could be applied to anything. Again, all you really need besides this stabilizer is a flat, clean bench. Once you've had that established, anything can be done. Thank you.